What's up, people? Jay here for PWF Empire. I had to put a little pause on my mini vacay because, boy, do we have some stuff to discuss. All of these former TNA dudes causing this goddamn commotion. You have Kurt Angle, AJ Styles, Austin Aries. Look, Samoa Joe, I know you feel tempted, but I'm going to need you to keep it tight for the rest of the weekend. I don't want to take the risk of hearing anything about you until after Sunday night, or I don't know, maybe Sunday night itself could possibly be Samoa Joe's news. I don't know if we got a title change there, but we do have one to talk about in this video, so just sit tight. Before we get there, let's talk about one of the news items that I read yesterday because stuff was popping off. One of those news items that I read was Dixie Carter. She is going to be on the WWE Network, and I know there is another famous Dixie Carter, but I think she's deceased. But hell, as far as I'm concerned, her ghost could show up on WWE programming, and that would be less shocking than the actual Dixie Carter of TNA fame or infamy, whichever one you want to go with. But yeah, that Dixie Carter, she's going to be on the WWE Network. It's true. It's damn true. She's going to be there for a Kurt Angle network special talking about his return to WWE, and this is very bizarre to me. It's really bizarre. It makes sense, but the only way it makes sense is if you acknowledge the other crazy shit that happened, and that is the fact that Kurt Angle has spent more of his wrestling career in TNA than he did in WWE, and that fact alone just blows my mind. But when you accept that to be the actual reality that we live in, Dixie Carter was Kurt Angle's boss for, what, a decade? If you're talking about his career, then I guess that relationship would be very important. So only in that sense does it make sense. But even with that being said, it still blows my freaking mind. Dixie Carter on the WWE Network. I have absolutely no idea to what extent she's going to be involved in this project and how much of the stuff from that time in Kurt Angle's life are they going to discuss. I'm quite sure there's probably going to be a few things that they want to stay away from, but I don't know. We'll see. Like, I'm definitely intrigued, so I will be checking it out. Now, if Dixie Carter being on the WWE Network wasn't enough for you, just wait, there is more. Friday night, WWE had a house show at the world-famous Madison Square Garden Arena in New York City, and at that show, there was a match booked on the card, AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. AJ ended up defeating Kevin Owens in that match and actually won the United States Championship in the process. Now, it'd be very easy for me to sit here and talk trash about the fact that WWE denied me the opportunity to see this title change take place, and it sucks because it wasn't on SmackDown, or they should have had it on a pay-per-view or something. Just give millions of WWE fans the chance to watch this match. But even though I can go there, and it'd be very easy for me to do so, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take that route at all. I appreciate the fact that this experience exists, even if I wasn't able to witness it myself. We live in a day and age where many fans are so consumed with the little peek behind the curtain that they get of the wrestling industry to the point where they're reading all of these spoilers and pay-per-view betting odds, and you know what's going on when you go into the show and you're like, I already know what's going to happen, and it prevents you from being fully invested in living that experience. I don't necessarily think that's a problem going into a house show because it comes with the price of admission that you got to leave your inhibitions at the door. You may go into a show like, I know what's going to happen. For example, you get a title match. The title isn't going to change hands. The face is going to win, be a disqualification, or whatever the case may be. Out of the hundreds and maybe thousands of matches that WWE has on house shows, title changes don't happen that often. So you go into a show and instead of like, I know what's going to happen, whatever, you're like, I probably know what's going to happen, but I'm just going to disarm myself, go in ready, willing, able, fully prepared to just have a good time. I'm open to being entertained. And for something like this to happen on that show where it's like, holy shit, I never thought I'd sit here and witness a title change. I'm so pumped up where I put myself into the shoes of a person there. So it's not a situation like, it's like, damn, they got to witness this and I didn't. That sucks. I'm like, holy shit, they got to witness that? That is so awesome. You're just talking about the structure of a title change happening on a show. This specific one, AJ Styles winning another title in WWE. I mean, the last time it worked out pretty well, so I'm all for it this time around. I am hoping that AJ Styles as the United States Champion, it elevates that title up in the pecking order over on SmackDown, and they can fill the void, that feud, AJ Styles and Kevin Owens, because this definitely does provide a spark for them. Maybe they can fill that void that is there with the fact that the WWE Championship is missing. Like, it's been gone for a little bit of time, and I have absolutely no idea where it is, because shit, every time I see Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton on my team, click, I don't mess around with them at all. So hopefully this spark that has been ignited with this feud, it can add up to some good stuff for this storyline going forward. And last but surely not least, we also got the news that Austin Aries has been released from WWE. I don't know what the official story is because we haven't heard from Austin Aries himself yet, but there are rumors swirling about that he requested his release from WWE because he was dissatisfied with the fact that he was pigeonholed within the cruiserweight division. Now, if that is the case, then that fucking sucks. It really does. It sucks that what he's done so far on the main roster wasn't enough for him. And it also sucks that it wasn't enough for the fans. Because do you know that old saying, what is it? This is not my hill to die on. In this case, lay me out. Right the fuck here. Lay me out. This is my hill to die on because I will go to war over Austin Aries and Neville. That feud is one of the best WWE feuds this entire year, and it sucks that there's an inherent bias against the cruiserweights that prevents people from acknowledging it as such. And then all of that stuff that comes into play with that bias. You've had Austin Aries in matches. It was a tag team match, him and Jack Gallagher versus Neville and TJP. On Monday Night Raw, you had the crowd chanting for CM Punk. It was one of the shows that they did in New Jersey. You had the crowd chanting for CM Punk, chanting boring, and he spoke out a little bit about that on Twitter, giving a sarcastic comment talking about how classy the crowd was. And I can see how that weighs on somebody. I guess I have to acknowledge the fact that, yeah, there is a ceiling on success in the cruiserweight division. There's only so much that you can do there, and you can't venture outside of it and experience other things in WWE, competing for other titles and maybe even going up towards the World Championships. But it was one of the best fucking feuds out of the entire company. And the fact that that wasn't enough, that just, man, it sucks. And I don't hold it against Austin Aries to have an ego, to want to be the best of the best and want to just shoot straight to the top of WWE. And he has all of these aspirations and things that he wants to accomplish. But what I expect for wrestlers and characters that I see on TV is to have good characters, good matches, good feuds. And I got all of that from Austin Aries in the cruiserweight division. For me to sit back and to see people look at this and say things like Austin Aries was wasted on the main roster, I get where you're coming from, but the dude was good. He went out there and he kicked ass and he had great matches and great moments. And it's just this whole cruiserweight mind fuck that has turned the world topsy-turvy where, oh, good match, not enough. Or, I don't, on one hand, I get it, but then again, it's, I don't know. This thing with Austin Aries, like, he's gone from WWE now. It came out of nowhere, but at the very same time, and I know this is going to sound contradictory, I'm not surprised. Came out of nowhere, but I'm not surprised. There was something about that look that he had on his face after his last pay-per-view match with Neville. And then, you know, some of the interviews that he did after that, it just seemed like this was a given. It was going to happen at some point. Even he may be proud of the work that he did. I truly hope that he's proud of the work that he did in WWE, but you want to shoot for the stars. Or at the very least, you want to entertain the crowd. And the crowd just did not want to be entertained by cruiserweight action. Even though that was one of the best fucking feuds in the whole company. This pisses me off. It really does. This truly pisses me off. But you know what? Yeah, Austin Aries, he's gone from WWE. Best of luck in your future endeavors. And I mean that 100%. Yeah, so that's it for me. Let me know what you thought about all of these topics that I discussed in this video down in the comment section below. I am going to actually go try to enjoy my vacation now. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.